Stop right now. Look at your hands, these hands. Right now, in this moment, they're capable of building something extraordinary, of creating, of destroying what no longer serves you, of reaching for what you've been told is impossible. But you've been walking around like a guest in your own life, haven't you? Here's what nobody tells you. The cage you're living in, you built it. The limitations crushing you, you agreed to them. The voice saying you're not ready, not worthy, not enough, you gave it the microphone. And if you built the cage, you hold the key. If you're ready to stop being a prisoner in your own story, subscribe now, because what you're about to hear will either change everything or confirm that you're not ready yet. Let me ask you something brutal. When did you stop believing in yourself? Was it the teacher who rolled their eyes at your dream? The parent who said, "Be realistic"? The friend who laughed when you shared your ambition? Or was it quieter than that? 1,000 tiny moments where you learned that playing small keeps you safe. Most people are walking around asleep, eyes open but asleep, going through the motions they didn't choose, living according to rules they never agreed to, chasing goals someone else installed in their minds before they were old enough to question them. You wake up, you go to work, you scroll, you complain, you say someday, you wait for permission, you wait for the right time, you wait for confidence, you wait for someone to choose you. And while you wait, life is happening, time is passing, your dreams are aging, your potential is gathering dust. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You've been hypnotized, not by some villain, but by a society that profits from your compliance, by systems that need you small, by industries built on your insecurity, by voices that convinced you that who you are isn't enough, so you'd keep buying what they're selling. They sold you a story about yourself, and you bought it. You bought the story that you need more credentials before you can start, more money before you can invest in yourself, more certainty before you can take the leap, more approval before you can make the move. But let me tell you what power really is. Power isn't loud, it isn't arrogant, it isn't domination. Power is waking up one morning and deciding that the person you've been pretending to be is exhausting and you're done. Power is the quiet moment when you stop asking, "Can I?" and start declaring, "I will." Power is when you realize that waiting for perfect conditions is just fear wearing a disguise. So what happens when you wake up? Everything shifts. Not all at once, not in some magical explosion of transformation, but in the way tectonic plates shift. Slowly, inevitably, reshaping the entire landscape of your life. The first thing that changes is your tolerance. Suddenly, you can't sit through another conversation where people complain about problems they refuse to solve. You can't pretend to care about drama that's beneath your vision. You can't force yourself to stay in spaces that require you to shrink. Your boundaries become non-negotiable. Not because you've become cold, but because you finally understood that saying yes to everything means saying no to yourself. The second thing that changes is your hunger. You stop consuming poison and calling it entertainment. You stop spending hours in scrolling comas. You become protective of your attention, your energy, your time, because you've realized these aren't renewable resources. Every minute you give to distraction is a minute stolen from your destiny. You start asking different questions. Not, what will people think, but what will I think of myself if I don't try? Not, what if I fail, but what if I succeed and I'm not there because I was too afraid to begin? The third thing that changes is your relationship with fear. You don't stop feeling it. Fear doesn't disappear when you step into your power, but you stop treating it like a stop sign and start treating it like a compass. It It shows you exactly where you need to go. Because here's what they don't tell you. Everything you want is on the other side of the thing you're avoiding. That conversation you're terrified to have, that's where your freedom lives. That project you keep putting off, that's where your purpose is hiding. That risk you're calculating to death, that's where your destiny is waiting. When you wake up to your power, you realize that the life you've been living isn't your life at all. It's a negotiation, a compromise, a rough draft you forgot to revise. And you're allowed to rewrite it. Not someday, not when you're ready, not when conditions are perfect. Now, let's get something straight. You don't need to find your power. You need to stop giving it away. Every time you silence yourself to keep the peace, you give away power. Every time you dim your light so others feel comfortable, you give away power. Every time you wait for someone to validate your vision, you give away power. You've been handing out pieces of yourself like free samples, hoping someone will finally say you're enough. But here's the revelation. You were always enough. The world just profits from you believing otherwise. Think about the last time you felt truly alive, unstoppable, connected to something bigger than your fears. I'll bet it wasn't when you were playing it safe. It wasn't when you were waiting. It wasn't when you were asking for permission. It was when you decided. When you took the leap, when you spoke your truth, when you bet on yourself even though the odds looked terrible, when you chose your vision over your comfort. That feeling? That's your natural state. That's who you are when you're not performing, pretending, or protecting yourself from judgment. Your power isn't something you achieve, it's something you remember. You were born with audacity. Look at yourself as a child, fearless, curious, unashamed. You didn't worry about failure because you didn't even have the concept yet. You just tried. You fell, you got up, you tried again. Then the world taught you to be afraid, to calculate, to protect, to perform, to pretend. But underneath all that conditioning, you're still that person, the one who believes anything is possible, the one who doesn't need permission, the one who knows that the only life worth living is the one you design yourself. So here's your wake-up call. Stop waiting for someone to choose you. Choose yourself. Stop waiting for confidence, act and let confidence catch up. Stop waiting for the path to be clear. Take one step and the next step will reveal itself. You want to know the secret that changed my life? I stopped asking, "Am I ready?" and started asking, "Will I regret not trying?" And that question is everything. When you truly wake up, here's what happens. You stop negotiating with your dreams. You stop treating them like wishes and start treating them like assignments. You stop saying, "I hope," and start saying, "I'm building." Your circle changes. Not because you abandon people, but because you operate on a different frequency now. Some people will celebrate your awakening. Others will feel threatened by it. And you'll have to make peace with the fact that your growth will make some people uncomfortable. Let them be uncomfortable. Their comfort is not your responsibility. Your evolution is. You stop seeking validation and start seeking alignment. You stop asking, "Do they approve?" and start asking, "Does this align with who I'm becoming?" You become allergic to average, not in an arrogant way, but in a purposeful way. You realize that settling isn't humility, it's self-betrayal. You realize that playing small isn't modesty, it's cowardice dressed up as wisdom. Your relationship with failure transforms completely. Failure stops being this shameful thing you avoid and becomes data, feedback, proof that you're actually trying. You start seeing every setback as a setup, every rejection as a redirection, every obstacle as an opportunity to prove what you're made of. And here's the most beautiful part. You stop living for applause. You stop performing for people who aren't even paying attention. You stop building a life that looks good on paper and start building a life that feels true in your bones. You become unshakable. Not because nothing bothers you, but because you're anchored to something deeper than circumstances. You're anchored to purpose, to vision, to the unshakable knowing that you didn't come this far to only come this far. So, here we are, the end of this video, but hopefully the beginning of something else. You have a choice to make, right now, in this moment. You can close this video and go back to sleep, back to the comfortable numbness of routine, back to the safe prison of someday, back to waiting for permission that will never come. Or you can decide that today, this moment, this breath is when everything changes. Not because circumstances changed, but because you did. You don't need another sign. You don't need more time. You don't need better conditions. You need a decision. One decision. The decision to stop betraying yourself and start believing yourself. The decision to stop giving your power away and start standing in it. The decision to stop living like a victim of your circumstances and start living like the creator of your reality. Because here's the truth that will either liberate you or haunt you. 5 years from now, you'll arrive. The question is, where? Will you arrive at the life you dreamed of, or at the same place you are now, just older, with more regrets and fewer excuses? The moment you wake up to your own power, everything changes. But it has to start with a choice. So what's it gonna be? If this message hit you in your soul, subscribe. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, and then go do the thing you've been avoiding. Your power is waiting. Stop making it wait. The cage is open. Now walk out.